morning, world. I am Judy, your web-based therapist, making therapy accessible and convenient for our clients in Florida and New York, and of course, sharing information worldwide. Today, I want to take a moment and talk about 5 mental health facts, or I don't even know if I want to call them. Actually, they are technically facts, but more just 5 reminders, 5 things to know or remember about mental health, especially as we celebrate Mental Health Awareness Month throughout the month of May. But before I get into that, I want to take a quick moment and say if you are subscribed, thank you so much for being a part of our awesome world. If you're not yet subscribed, please click the subscribe button below so you can join all this awesomeness. And remember to tick the bell so you are notified when I post new videos so you don't miss anything. And of course, if you'd like to purchase 1 or 3 of my books, also a link below that will take you to a site that shows you all your different options of places where you could get 1 or 3 of my books. All right, let me get back to it. The first thing that I need people to remember is that we all have mental health. Generally, when we start speaking of mental health, when we start talking about mental health, whenever mental health enter the conversation, it's real. People are really referring to a disruption, to a change, to something that's not working right with mental health. But mental health overall, as mental health, is not necessarily that something is wrong. Mental health is just health. Mental health is a part of human health. Whenever we talk about human health, we're not necessarily talking about a disruption in the person's health. We talk about, human health in general. Mental health is the same way. There's mental health in general, and we're all on a different spot in that spectrum, just like we are all on a different spot on the spectrum of physical health. So it's important that we take a look at that, because a lot of that is part of why we have this whole stigma around anything related to mental health, is because we think that mental health is something that they got. We don't have mental health. Any human person has mental health. It's just that some of us are on a different spot than others. Disruptions to mental health have low visibility but high prevalence. When I say disruption to mental health, I'm talking about anything that could impact a person's mental health. It could from something temporary, such as a depression that a person works through, to a chronic long-term mental illness. They have low visibility, but they have quite high prevalence. And over the years, it has continued to increase. Because a while back, I remember looking in and I saw that it was 1 in 6 Americans had experience a diagnosable mental health issue over the course of a year. And I recently read something that says it was 1 in 4. And I saw something that I believe it was Johns Hopkins, where they were talking about 26% of Americans over the course of the year experience a potentially diagnosable mental health issue. So when you're talking about 26% of people, that's your neighbor, that's your teacher, that's your spouse, that's your friend, that's your parent, that's your somebody in your family. We all have this idea that it's those people, but it's not. When you're talking about a quarter of the adult population, you're talking about people that are experiencing these issues. Although the more long-term chronic mental illnesses, things like maybe a bipolar or schizophrenia, they're not as high. Not everyone is experiencing something like that. It's said that schizophrenia is about 1% of the population, and maybe 2.5% was bipolar, and 10% of the population was experiencing depression. Though it's different things that people are experiencing, but it's all under the mental health umbrella, or the umbrella of a disruption to the person's mental health, which all together between everything, all the diagnoses add up to about 26%. So someone right now, as you are watching this, hey, it could be you. Someone is experiencing a disruption in their mental health, regardless of what their diagnosis may be. 3, many factors impact mental health, and other life stressors can increase the risk of a disruption. Things like stress. We all know stress. I hope by now we all know stress impacts your mental health. But just about anything in your life any situation that is going on in a person's life can impact their mental health. Trauma is one of the big ones. Whether it is an emotional or a physical trauma that a person experiences, that can impact your mental health. We've all been going through the 2020s. That can definitely, and we noticed how that impacted people's mental health. Many factors can impact a person's mental health. People often have this us versus them thing where, I'm good, I'm this, I'm that. It's those people. No, it's everybody. It's every human who is at risk of a disruption to their mental health, because we are all living in society and exposed to situations and exposed to, I guess, technically opportunities for mental health disruptions. So we're all, as long as we're alive, as long as we're operating in this world, we're all potentially at risk. But the good thing is it's not happening every day. It's not every day that every person is experiencing something. Many people who do experience a disruption to their mental health, they are able to get help and get that resolved or within a certain amount of times, whether it's going to be for a month or over a few months or a few years. Most people are able to have whatever their mental health issue is resolved with whatever the treatment choice is that they follow or that they choose for. You can't punish, shame, or pray mental health issues away, especially for children with mental health issues that impact children. Things like ADHD or ODD, which is oppositional defiance disorder, or any type of behavioral manifestation of a mental illness. Or people often try to do one of these. They'll try to pray it away. They'll try to beat it out of that child, or they'll try to shame that child because, don't you see? Why can't you be more like your brother? Those you can't get rid of a mental health issue with those any more than you could get rid of a cancer with those. Just as you can't shame a person's cancer, no matter how bad you make a person feel about having cancer, they're still gonna have the cancer is not gonna magically disappear because you made them feel so bad about it and now they are ashamed of themselves. No, that's not how it works. Mental health is a part of health. Any health condition has to be addressed as a health condition, has to be addressed as a disruption in the person's health in order for that disruption to be resolved. If you're going to attempt to punish a person, attempt to shame a person, because, especially when adults with ADHD get this so much, where someone tries to shame them into being a better, more organized, more effective worker. Give the person resources. That would fix the problem. Or it usually helps with the problem. Don't do that. Don't attempt to do that. And if you see someone doing that, call them out. Let them know that's not how it works and that they suck for doing that. Finally, resources are limited, but they are available. People often talk about how they are not able to gain access to resources to address mental health issues. That is very true. Sometimes it can be costly, but there are a lot of resources that are available that can help people address issues with mental health. And of course, one of the ones I talk about the most is the employee assistance programs, which are available to people who work for companies. Most companies have at least 3 sessions. So that is one thing. Your health insurance. Many people now have health insurance, and that is often covered. I've seen copays as low as $5. I have clients who have $5 copays for their mental health coverage. When you're selecting a mental health plan, an insurance plan, that may be something to look into. What services are covered so that you make sure that you get a plan that covers services that you may need. So resources are limited, but they are available. And it's not always that you need to go see a professional, that you need to be taking medication. A lot of times you can make some lifestyle adjustments to assist with improving your mental health. Things like exercising, things like taking care of your body, things like eating healthier. Those can help improve your mental health. Being mindful of the not taking in as much traumatainment, those things can help improve your mental health. So the resources may be limited, but they are available, and we have to keep that in mind and keep looking for them. Okay, let's do a quick recap. One, we all have mental health. We all have mental health, just like we have health, and mental health is a part of human health. It's not all, just because we say mental health does not necessarily mean that there is a disruption with it. Two, mental health disruptions usually have low visibility because you can't see them on the outside, but there is a high prevalence. About 26% of the population is on an annual basis experiencing something related to their mental health. Three, many factors can impact your mental health, from especially different life stressors can put you at higher risk. So be mindful that just because things are going great right now doesn't mean that something can't happen, and that can impact your mental health. And if something does happen that impacts your mental health, make sure you take the time and get help and address it. 4, you can't punish, shame, or pray mental health issues away, because you can't punish, shame, or pray any type of health issue away. These things have to be addressed as the health related issues that they are, and so that they can, be dealt with. And finally, resources may be limited, but they do exist. There are a lot of resources around. Actually, I'll link the video that I shared a while back talking about ways to get free mental health services. And it's not always, it doesn't always require a professional. Sometimes there are lifestyle changes that are free that you can do to help improve your mental health. Yes, as always, if you or someone you know happens to be going through something that's more than you can handle, please remember that there are professionals like myself who are available, able, and willing to help, and are even providing remote services who can assist with whatever you may have going on. So please figure out who those people are in your community so that if you need them, you can reach out and get the help that you need. And that is all we have for today. Good morning, world. Have an awesome day.